Elena and Pedro meet. Welcome to this episode of Te doy la vida. I gave up my life episode 40. Before we step right into this video, thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate all of you. And please consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't. Jimmy, the drug dealing mechanic, tells Ernesto that Pedro isn't at the teller. Ernesto is connecting the dots and is distressed. Pedro fills in the blanks for Elena since her memory is a little hazy. She was acting erratic. He suspects that she was drugged. No, he doesn't think he's an addict. He suspects Ernesto drugged her but can't prove it. Gabriela and Samuel are helping Andrea move all her useless MLM crap into Elena's room. Andrea is grudgingly grateful to Samuel for helping with the moving of the boxes as well as helping her get out of jail. Gabriela is kind of disgusted with her. Elena and Pedro talk about getting married and being a happy family with Nico after she divorces Ernesto. Pedro knows that Nico still loves Ernesto, and that's okay. All that matters is that Nico is happy. Elena returns to the playground where Irene was looking after Nico. Irene reports that Ernesto called but she didn't answer. Gabriela kisses Samuel goodbye. Andrea is looking on and asks Gabriela how serious she is about Samuel. "He is my boyfriend," Gabriela replies. To Andrea's implication that Samuel is a deadbeat, Gabby says that he's gonna be a great lawyer someday and wherever they live, and Andrea whines. Hoti finds out that the son of Isabel's servant, Margarita, is named Miguel. When Irene and Elena return home, Trini pulls Elena aside and reports of Irene's skeevy behavior, wearing Elena's clothes, sleeping in her bed, and just being overly creepy. It's almost as if Irene wanted to look like Elena. Elena isn't alarmed, thinks it was to help Nico not miss his mom, and says it's okay and thanks Trini for letting her know. Trini raises her eyebrows at Elena's lack of concern. Ernesto gets a call about the bill of Elena's care in the hospital. The insurance says that they don't cover some of these costs because they are a result of drug abuse. Ernesto's eyes light up and he asks for the paperwork on this. Elena and Irene have a brief talk. Elena says that she's not upset by Irene wearing her clothes. In fact, she's very grateful because it was probably comforting for Nico. Andrea calls the MLM guy wanting to get out of this deal, but he schmoozes her, telling her to be patient and also informs her that she can exchange her current boxes of his crap for different boxes. She is not pleased. Ernesto comes home and as he's helping Nico find a lost toy, finds out that when he was playing at the park today, that Elena left for a while to see somebody, but he doesn't know who. Ernesto can guess who it is and looks pissed. Nelson somewhat nervously negotiates with Pedro to keep him working as the teller. They haggle for a bit but agrees on a 15% raise and I think some sort of commission on some of the car restoration jobs. Hoti calls detective to tell her the good news. They know the name of the servant's son, Miguel. While they both suspect that Miguel is the other one, there is no proof. Hoti suggests that they bring up Miguel's name to Isabel and see how she reacts. Elena is pushing ahead with the divorce, but Ernesto turns up the super freaky creep level to 11. Ernesto tries to play the victim. He just loves her so much. That's all he's ever done is try to save their love. I loved you the first moment I saw you. She confronts him with dragging her, but she's not buying any of this, which is denying, of course. It's over. His words of love and devotion are empty. He says, never will he accept this. He's leaning in close with a crazy look in his eyes, and she's starting to get scared. He not only doesn't want to lose her, but he refuses to accept that someone like Pedro could win her. Irene overhears this conversation, and when he leaves the room, she asks him what's up. It tears into her. She knew that Elena was meeting Pedro at the park, and she let it happen and didn't tell him anything. She's a traitor and is kicking her out of the house. She's really upset. The detective nun visits Isabel and asks her what's up. Elena is waiting to see her husband. Detective nun asks about Ernesto. He's going on a trip. Elena is updating Pedro on the latest with crazy Ernesto. She's going to stay with her mom and starts the divorce pronto. Irene comes in all upset because Ernesto kicked her out. She'll never get his trust back. Why is he so insistent on wanting Elena when she obviously doesn't want him? Helena replies, because he's not. Elena promises that she will work something out and Irene won't be kicked out. I missed some details here, but okay. Elena calls her mom, asking that Nico and her go home. Andrea immediately agrees and welcomes them, but tries to persuade her to stay with Ernesto. Elena doesn't want to hear it. She'll explain everything later. A brief crazy scene with Ernesto driving, remembering what Elena said about leaving and vowing that he won't let it happen. Elena explains to Nico that they are leaving the house. Nico figures out that divorce is in the horizon. Elena gives a kid-friendly and sanitized version of how the divorce will go. They won't be leaving Papa alone. Trini will be there to keep him company. Meanwhile, Irene is ranting in her room, packing her things and upset that she's lost Ernesto's trust. She goes to caress some of his shirts among his things and outfalls a bottle of horse pills. She looks at the drugs app on Google and connects the dots. Ernesto drugged Elena. Meanwhile, Elena calls her dad to let him know that she's going to stay with her mom. Domingo is jogging and feels so bad that he passed out. Of course, Horacio is right there to discover him. Domingo is out of the count and Horacio can't wake him up and yells for help. Elena is heading out to see her divorce lawyer when crazy Ernesto waltzes in. He's got a folder with toxicology report on her system when she had the accident. It proves that when she was under the influence of alcohol and therefore is not fit mother for Nico. This means crazy Ernesto will retain custody of Nico should they divorce. Elena utters a shocked. Crazy Ernesto says that she has two choices: come home and keep Nico or divorce and lose Nico. Meanwhile, Andrea is looking on, somewhat approving. Whoa, things are getting heated over here. Thank you so much for watching this episode. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Make sure post notifications are turned on, like this video. Till next time, guys. Bye bye.